In this video, we'll go over all of WoW news from the past week and try to compress it into a bite-sized video. This week's weekly event is Sign of the Critter. Pet Battle Week is by far the best weekly event, and the only one I look forward to every couple of months. Mainly because I run a Pet Battle channel, and I get almost all of my footage for that channel during this week. But since I'm still recovering from a cold right now, I probably won't be able to get as much footage as I usually do. Since my voice, I can't use my real voice right now. But anyways, this week you get 200% more XP for leveling pets, and a quest to win 5 PvP pet battle matches to get an instant level 25 stone. This quest can be turned in on pretty much any character that can go to Dalaran, so you can do it multiple times to get a few instant level 25 stones. I'll make sure to link a video at the end of this video in which I go over all of the best PvP pets if you want some ideas on which teams to use. This week we actually have a PvP Brawl, and the one for this week is a Rothy Blizzard. It's basically just a Rothy basin but with snow, and some of the water is frozen over. It's a pretty neat one, and since AB is one of the most balanced battlegrounds in the game, there's no reason to not check it out if you hadn't done this one already. Just make sure to accept the quest in your adventure journal first for a nice reward if you win. WoW's 13th anniversary event will be ending this week on Thursday, so you only have 2 more days to take advantage of the XP rep buff and to do the old school world bosses. The Shadow Priest AoE changes should go live today with the hotfix. The changes just generally try to buff Shadow Priest AoE DPS on low health mobs, since currently, Shadow Priests have some of the worst low health mob AoE in the game, which is the most common type of AoE you need for mythic dungeons and stuff of that nature. Although I should mention the changes don't really help very much. You still have to ramp up to do normal AoE. It's just the AoE shouldn't still suck even after all the ramp up. They really need to just give Shadow an ability like their old Mind Seer back. Antorus, the Burning Throne raid goes live today. This is the final raid of the expansion and will most likely be the raid we spend the next year doing before Battle for Azeroth launches. With the launch of the new raid, you can now start working towards upgrading your legendaries to eye level 1000. So if you don't actually raid until later on in the week like I do, you can start working on that now for a nice item level boost. Also, spoiler alerts for the raid. People got mad last time I didn't give a big enough gap in between the spoiler warning and the actual spoiler, so here's your gap. Now, for the spoiler, there is a cinematic for the end of the raid, just like with the previous 3 raids. It's pretty great that we've been having cinematics for all of these raids. I hope Blizzard continues this. Anyway, in the cinematic, Sargeras stabs his sword into Silithus, and you should actually be able to see the sword in Azeroth after killing Argus. Kinda like how you could see Argus in the sky after beating Kil'jaeden. I really like these changes as well, and hope Blizzard continues to change the world with the progression of the story. Ignoring the fact, of course, that a giant sword being stabbed into the planet would most likely cause an extinction level cataclysm, but whatever. This week's smaller YouTuber shoutout will be for Pukki Studio. He infrequently makes WoW Machinima videos in his spare time, but there's one video of his that I really like called the Darkspear Rebellion, which I should be showing footage of on screen, that goes over the events of Vol'jin planning and organizing the rebellion against Garrosh back in Miss. The video ends right before the events of Siege of Orgrimmar and teases a sequel at the end, but seeing as the video was made 4 years ago, he's very behind on it. It's a good video, I'll link it at the end of this one, and you should all go watch it and then bug him in the comment section to make part 2 already. And with that, I'll see you all next week.